Hello, I'm Nathan Judah. I'm here with Wolverhampton Wanderers reporter Mr. Tim Spiers. We're back at the museum. It is Wednesday, Tim. Bright and early here.
You have a good night?
A fantastic night. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like your shirt, like your tie combo. I feel like you've.
Interesting what happened in the cricket last night, wasn't it?
Oh, I tell you what.
World Cup is hotting up.
Absolutely hotting up.
Semi-final soon.
England doing very, very well again.
Oh, it's risky.
Tell you what, Azerbaijan.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, okay. Look, we're here Wednesday. We're going to talk midfielders, but look behind us again in the museum. Some stunning kits over there. What was your favourite kit? Would you say out of all these? How many did you own? Let me know.
That one.
Yeah.
That one. That one.
I like this one. I like this one up here. The tyre marks.
Tyre marks.
Quality.
Infamous tyre mark. I didn't have the Benjamin Perry one in there, but yeah, great selection. Wonder what next year's going to look like.
Could be interesting. All the same sponsorship deals, I reckon, back in the day. Yeah, they can all pay multi-million pounds to get their names on Wolves' shirt.
The Manda Centre? No, I don't think so.
No. 10 quid in a bottle. A bottle of shampoo. Right, midfielders. Let's go on. Let's straight away. Let's go on with someone who, I don't know. For me, slightly underwhelmed, and maybe it was the position that he was played in this season.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not his own fault. But I still think he had a good season. Reuben Neff.
Yeah, I think you've probably summed it up quite well there, really. I think he sort of sacrificed himself for the team a little bit, playing more of a defensive role.
34 appearances, 4 goals.
Had to adapt his game. However, there were parts of his game from last year that we know how good he can be. Certainly that kind of the vision and the intricate passing range, the long shots as well.
Yeah.
So he didn't score many from open play this year. You know, he's set himself high standards in that, and he'll have been disappointed that he didn't score a couple more goals, or maybe get a couple more assists. But overall, I thought he did a good job. It was difficult for him at the start of the season because Moutinho, I'm sure an idol of his growing up, is now the main man in the midfield. And he's got to adapt to a new role, both physically and sort of mentally as well, really. So I thought the two of them struck up a decent partnership early on. And then when Wolves kind of got found out a bit formation-wise or physically in midfield, they switched and sort of complemented each other pretty well, I thought.
Do you feel like he will want a different role next season, maybe one further forward that he got in the Championship, regular in the Portuguese squad now, or do you feel like he will? What's what Nuno will tell him, really?
It's not so much about the positioning; it's more that everything went through him in the Championship. It wasn't so much the case last year, certainly towards the end of the season. But yeah, there were times. I remember Southampton away. Towards the end of the year, he was practically playing as a centre half. You know, and you're not going to get the best out of him there. So
sure.
It is a bit of a conundrum going forward, literally, as to whether you want someone else to sit and be a DM in front of that back three, or Neves a bit further forward.
Is he wasted there?
No, I don't think wasted, because you look at the quality Moutinho has, and that kind of cancels out the fact that you move Neves a little bit deeper. But this guy could be a superstar, and you want to be able to get the best out of him. However, it was Moutinho who was the star last year, but it might have to be a slight formation change or a slight tinker with Neves' position if he's going to be the main man next year.
But we'll come on to Moutinho now, but Moutinho can't play every game next season, and you'd have thought that maybe Neves, if he was going to be pushed up further up, then he could do that instead of Moutinho. But what a signing, and he was better than anyone thought he would be, I think.
Yeah, he really was. As with so many of Wolves' signings, it's so impressive how quickly they adapt and how they hit the ground running. And he did. He made a great start, then a slight dip towards Christmas, and then the second half of the season. I mean, some of the performances he was putting in, unlike much that you've seen from Wolves players over the years. I mean, he was that good in a league of his own. The way he can control the game in terms of tempo and his passing range, it was exceptional at times. And
one goal, but what a goal at Old Trafford! I always remember that goal. Stunning,
goal.
fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. But also a really good character off the field as well. I think within the squad, within the dressing room, quite cheeky chappy.
Yeah.
Practical joker.
Can't shut him up in interviews.
No, you know you can't. One time I kind of sat down with him. He was really good value. You know, obviously a very intelligent bloke who's thinking about his future, and he wants his future to be at Wolves for the time being.
Well, been there, done it, played amongst the best, and like you say, still in that Portuguese squad, and he's going to be integral into going forward.
He'll be very important in Europe as well, because European football obviously very different to the Premier League in terms of tempo as well, and the way that games are played out. And he's been there and he's done it, and he'll know how it should should be done.
Is he one of the ones who's you're going to have to be careful to manage, because Thursday, Sunday is a completely different way, and probably he won't be used to it?
I think so. He was handling it pretty well in the second half of the season, but we did see, I thought a couple of times towards Christmas he looked a little bit fatigued.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where you need an addition, I think, to come in.
Squad player, versatile, and we know loves his versatility, is Roman Saiss, and I thought he did pretty well this year when he was asked. He had some really important performances when he came in.
Wolves had a really tough spell, didn't they, before Christmas? Lost 5 out of 6, and it was Saiss who helped get them back on track. Actually, a bit of an underrated player, I think, bit of a walk carrier, but I thought he didn't do much wrong last year, actually, and did well when called upon. I don't think he's a centre half at all.
No.
For me, certainly not on the right side. Anyway, we haven't seen him at Wolves on the left side, where he plays for Morocco, but I think as a DM he's got a lot to offer in certain type of matches, and I wouldn't want to see him move on.
And we talk about having such a small squad that everyone's going to have a part to play this season, but he will be. Especially, you can see him starting a lot in European games if they've got a lead and bringing him on, or a league going to a second leg. He'd be perfect, really, to drop in. Yeah. And reliable as well. I think that's what he's got to his game. He's had reliability, which he probably didn't have at the start of his Wolves career.
He's not a flashy player. He doesn't try and play above his means or above his level. He knows what he's good at. He knows what he's not good at, and I think he's a valuable squad player.
One person who I expected bigger things from, and I think he'll be disappointed with the impact he had this season, is Morgan Gibbs-White. Now, is he going to get his chance this season, or does he need a loan, even though Wolves are playing on multiple fronts? It's a really
tricky one, Morgan. You look at what he did last year. He played 26 times.
5 starts, 21 from the bench.
Which is phenomenal for a 19-year-old from the academy. A lad from Stafford, mixing it in with the likes of Moutinho and Neves and Dendoncker and whatnot, all these stars that Wolves have got. He held his own. And at times, on a couple of occasions, he was best player on the pitch. Chelsea and Spurs at home before Christmas, he set the place alight and got a lot of national attention at that time, perhaps too much. On Match of the Day they were saying he's got what England don't have, which is a huge statement to make, and one that they can freely make because they're pundits and they're going to set what they like. However, you've got to think of the knock-on effects that might have on a young lad, a local lad like Morgan Gibbs-White. He didn't have the impact that he would have wanted in the second half of the season. However, clearly liked by Nuno, clearly trusted, clearly sees a lot of potential in there. To play 26 times is a fantastic achievement. And you say he might be disappointed. I would say in the Premier League, to play that many times, he should be happy with that, and he'll learn a lot from it.
Does he need to kick on though?
Yeah, of course.
And if he does need to kick on, you look at someone like Harvey Barnes at West Brom, and Leicester put him out there, did a fantastic job for 6 months at West Brom, and came back and started the majority of the games for Leicester, from February onwards. Does Morgan need to do that? Does he need to drop down to Championship and play week in, week out? Because realistically, Morgan Gibbs-White is not going to play week in, week out for Wolves this season. You wouldn't have thought so. I'd be surprised. Does he need to do that, maybe at Championship level, at least until January, with a view to bringing him back into the fold?
But you say that. He did play week in, week out last year, just albeit bench appearances, when they needed him. Next year, you've got Europa League. So Wolves have got a lot of matches to get through next year. I'm not sure that they will send him out on loan. If it was up to me, I think I probably would do, but they don't have that record of doing that. When players go out on loan, it tends to be with a view to a permanent deal. Nuno prefers having these guys on the training ground to be ingrained in his methods and his teaching, and then he thinks it's more valuable for them to be at Compton rather than on loan at Nottingham Forest, where he'll get taught things and played in different formations that Nuno doesn't like. They're very specific about these type of things. So I would say the chances are he'll stay, because like I said, you've got to take the Europa League into account as well.
And one man who came for, bought him in the summer and did not feature for a long time, was a myth. He was a legend, but he lives with the Andy Dendoncker. And does he live? Because he was putting some stunning displays.
Yeah, I'm
huge bonus.
Huge bonus. A key part of the formation change, and allowing Moutinho in particular a bit more freedom in the middle of the park. And the good thing for me for Dendoncker is the scope for improvement that he's got. And I just wonder, because he came late and potentially not very fit either, so it took him a while to work his way into the team. I'm expecting big things from him next year, with a pre-season under his belt with Nuno. He's had a decent run in the Europa League with Anderlecht before. I think they got to the quarters maybe. So he's got that under his belt. I'm expecting a lot from him next year. I think he could be a real box-to-box player. We saw him score a couple of goals. I think he'll want to score more. And
Everton won. Remember that well.
The Everton one, and then
two feet though.
Yeah, and then Fulham last home game. He's got the winner there. So I think he'll be looking to push towards somewhere between 7 and 10 goals next year.
Yeah.
I think he's capable of doing that.
Strengthening wise, midfield.
Wolves need that. Of
course they do.
That was one of their weaknesses last season. So Jimenez and Jota got all the goals.
Sure.
The rest of them, Costa won, Traore won, Moutinho won. You know, they all need more goals. Johnny Castrotto won. You need more goals from different areas. Gibbs White hasn't scored yet. So Dendoncker will be key in that regard.
Well, you talk about goals. Do they bring in a goal-scoring midfielder?
I'd like to see them bring in a bit of a number 10 specialist, maybe, just for something different. But I'm not sure that they will do that.
Right.
But I think they definitely need strength. I think they need one more in the middle of the park. Again, just with the amount of games that they're going to have to play, and you've got to anticipate again injuries and loss of form next year. And I think they need a quality addition in there. Any
youngsters apart from obviously Morgan Gibbs White who might come in or might get a look in?
I don't think there's anyone on the fringes at the moment. No, it doesn't look like there's anybody close. There's some good talent in there, but there's no one that's massively pushed on in the last year.
That brings you into the midfielders. I'm going to have to change this shirt. I think I'm going to have to wear a different shirt tomorrow. Thursday we have got the
forwards
Thursday. We shall see you then. Bye bye.